Everyone is in different places in their credit card journey. Some people are just beginning, other people have gotten so many cards that they're beginning to run out of options. But if you're in the market for a new card in 2025, I'm going to give you my 5 favorite cards to look at for this year. If you are newer to the credit card game, you probably have heard people say that you should start with Chase because of the 524 rule. And while I do agree that it can make sense if you are trying to be ultra strategic to start off with Chase, Chase cards have not been the cards that I've been recommending to people who are beginning the game lately. It actually has been Capital One. The reason for this is because I think that Capital One cards are better, and also they're harder to get approved for later on down the line as compared to with Chase is only hard to get approved for if you are over 524. So you can get Capital One cards first and then easily get approved for Chase cards, but if you start off by getting a bunch of Chase cards, well then there's a higher likelihood you're going to get declined for those Capital One cards. This is the reason why lately I've been telling people who are beginning their credit card journey that they should either start off with the Saver card or the Venture X card because these two personal cards with Capital One are better than any personal cards with Chase. The Saver card gives you 3x back on dining, groceries, entertainment, and select streaming services. This is a very strong earner card and arguably the strongest earner card that has no annual fee. Now the Saver card does earn cash back, but when you pair it with the second recommended card being the Venture X card, you can convert that cash back into being Venture Miles, making it a lot more valuable when you are trying to redeem for travel. The Venture X card is also a solid catch-all card, giving you 2x back on all of your purchases, and then additionally you can get 5x back on flights booked through Capital One's travel portal, and then 10x back on hotels and car rentals booked through Capital One's travel portal. Now I know not everyone wants to book through travel portals because they can come with their issues, but there can end up being some positive with booking through travel portals, such as the additional points you are going to be getting with Capital One. And then also, there is a price match feature that if the price ends up dropping, you can end up being reimbursed for the difference in costs. And this actually recently just happened to me to where I booked a flight through Capital One's travel portal, and a few days later, I got an email telling me that the price dropped and Capital One reimbursed me $21. I wasn't even monitoring it or anything. Capital One just informed me that I'm going to be getting money back for that booked flight. It feels good knowing that a flight that I booked that was around $130, that I'm going to be getting $20 back. That's a decent return for not doing anything. Now, am I going to be using my Venture X card to book all of my flights moving forward? Probably not, because I still have the American Express Platinum card, but if I decide to downgrade my American Express Platinum card, this will definitely end up being an option I'll be considering to take advantage of in the future. Just knowing that I can get reimbursed like this for flights that I booked is a nice feature to have. Now the Capital One Venture X card does come with a $395 annual fee, but in my opinion, it is the easiest card to cover the annual fee with when it comes to the credits that are connected to it. Because you get a $300 travel credit that you do have to use through Capital One's travel portal, and then also you get 10,000 points every anniversary of keeping this card open. I feel that if you don't have $300 in travel purchases to use through Capital One's travel portal, then you probably shouldn't be looking at getting travel cards in the first place. The Capital One Venture X card is a card that, as long as it stays the way that it is, I will never be canceling it. If you want to get both of these cards, I would start off with the Venture X first because I find it to be more valuable. And also make sure that if you do decide to apply for both of the cards, to space out 6 months between applications, because that's the amount of time that Capital One would like when it comes to approving people for multiple of their cards. Now, if you are interested in getting either the Venture X card or the Saver card, I will have referral links in the description box down below. If you do decide to use any of my links, it does really help out the channel, and I'll be incredibly thankful for your support. I have another video on this channel going over the Capital One Duo and how it's so powerful and how you can maximize it. So if you want to learn more about these cards, then check out that video on my channel. Now I know that there's probably already someone who wants to write in the comment section down below that you should start with Chase cards first, and while I do think that Chase points are good, when you look at Chase's cards, especially on the personal side, they are not strong earner cards. The only personal Chase card I use that isn't a co-branded card is going to be the Chase Freedom Flex card when I get that 5x rotating category. But outside of that, I canceled my Sapphire Preferred card, and I don't even know where my Freedom Unlimited is. When I look at Chase personal cards, the only one that pops out to me is going to be the Aeroplan card, and that's going to be the next card on this list that I am going to recommend. Now I want to state that this isn't going to be the first Chase card that I recommend that you get. After you get the Freedom Unlimited, the Freedom Flex, and the Sapphire Preferred or Reserve card, and say you are at 424, when you are looking to get your next Chase card that's going to put you over 524, that is when I would say to get the Aeroplan card. To me, the Aeroplan card is the best airline card out there. What makes it so great is that this card works really well for people who are trying to get max redemptions and take ultra luxurious trips, but also for people who are trying to redeem on the lower end, they still can end up getting the best value possible with the Aeroplan card. Now I've talked about this card multiple times on this channel, but I just want to go over again why this card is so powerful. Now, it isn't a strong earner card because the best earning category you're going to get with this card is going to be 3x back on flights with Air Canada and then 3x back at the grocery store. So you really wouldn't want to be using this card for everyday spend. Where this card shines is going to be in two categories. And that's going to be the 10x boost when you transfer your Chase Ultimate Reward points over to your Aeroplan account, and then also the 25% boost when it comes to redeeming your points with the pay yourself back for travel purchases. When you take advantage of these benefits, when Chase is having their transfer bonus either once or twice throughout the year, usually Chase has a 20% transfer bonus that now becomes a 30% transfer bonus because of the additional 10% you get from having the card, and then that pay yourself back feature, instead of it only being 1.25%, when you add in the 30% boost that you're getting from transferring over your points, now that becomes 1.625% for pay yourself back with travel purchases. This is why I say that this card is great for both the low end and the high end. Because say you want to transfer your Chase Ultimate Reward points over to Aeroplan and get the best value possible, well, you could end up booking either a business class flight with Aeroplan through one of their partners to get over to Europe for, say, 60,000 points. But with the transfer bonus, adding in the 20% and then also the 10% from the card, you'd only need to transfer over 47,000 points to be able to book a business class flight. Or you could end up even doing first class like how I did, where it would cost 90,000 points to book Lufthansa first class, but with the transfer bonus, it would only end up costing you 70,000 points to book a first class flight across the ocean. This is an absolute steal of a deal. To be able to book a first class flight for only 70,000 points when the cash cost is listed somewhere near about $7,000 to $8,000 each way, who wouldn't want to book it for that low amount of points? So this is how this card can make a great deal even better, adding in that 10% transfer bonus on the high-end redemptions. But say you aren't looking to travel in international business or first class, or you have a really hard time finding award availability at the times that you're looking to travel. How could you still use this card to get yourself good value, just not at the ultra high end? Well, this is where if you decide to take advantage of the pay yourself back feature, you can get the best value out there for travel purchases above the Chase Sapphire Reserve and the American Express Business Platinum card when you take advantage of a transfer bonus. Now, where I've taken advantage of this has been with hotels. Because one thing that's great about with the Aeroplan card is that when you use this card to make that travel purchase and then pay yourself back, you don't have to go through any type of travel portal. So when you are trying to book hotels, you still get to earn points. Whereas if you use something like the Chase Sapphire Reserved, while you could end up redeeming through the travel portal, you wouldn't be able to earn any points because third-party bookings typically don't end up earning points for hotel purchases. And since I have status with both Hilton and Hyatt, I'd want to be able to get those status benefits, which I can get with booking through the Aeroplan card, but I wouldn't be able to get with booking through the Chase Sapphire Reserved. I've taken advantage of this a few times staying at Hyatt properties. There were Hyatt hotels that I wish to stay at, but I did the math and saw that if I transferred over my Chase Ultimate Reward points to my World of Hyatt account and made that award booking, then I would have gotten poor value for my Hyatt points. But these were still properties that I wish to stay at, so the best deal that I could find would end up being to transfer over my Chase Ultimate Reward points to my Aeroplan account during a 20% transfer bonus, and then adding in the 10% transfer bonus that I get from having the Aeroplan card, which would end up giving me 1.625 for my redemption to book this Hyatt property. And when you add in the fact that you earn points for this award booking, and also if there's a promotion going on, you can usually get pretty close to 2 cents per point in value when you tack on that rebate. And each time I've done this, I've added in a suite upgrade cert, making it well worth it and also giving me an awesome stay. So I've used the Aeroplan card to help me get the best value on international first class flights, and I've also used the Aeroplan card to help me get the best value when I was looking to do an award booking for a hotel stay, but there really just wasn't any good options out there. This is why I say that if you've already gotten Chase cards and you're one slot away from locking yourself out of 524, consider getting the Aeroplan card because regardless of what level you are in this game, this card can end up being valuable to you for your travel needs. Now the next card that I'm going to name is one that should be talked about a lot more on the internet, but probably doesn't get talked about very much due to the fact that it doesn't have a referral program, and that's going to be the Citi Strata Premier card. This is a card that if you compare it to the Chase Sapphire Preferred and the American Express Gold card, if you could only have one of those three, this card would end up earning you more points than the other two cards. The Citi Strata Premier card for sure beats out the Chase Sapphire Preferred card. The Chase Sapphire Preferred card makes sense to be your first starter travel card, but when you compare that these cards have the same annual fee, the Citi Strata Premier card just earns way better, and I can't even think of a scenario where I can say that the Sapphire Preferred card is better than the Strata Premier card. Now the American Express Gold card does have higher multipliers in dining and groceries, but when it comes to an overall card, I think that more people would be happy with the Strata Premier card over the American Express Gold card. Citi is a lot better than many people realize. Sure, their transfer partners aren't as recognizable as Chase's transfer partners, but the unique transfer partners that Citi has are actually pretty good. They're partnered with Choice Hotels, where for each city point that you transfer, you get 2 choice privilege points. Now the choice properties don't have the most fancy properties like Marriott and Hilton, but it wouldn't be bad value to transfer over your city points to your choice privilege account. You could actually get better value from doing that as compared to transferring over your American Express points to Marriott or Hilton. The next good transfer partner that doesn't get talked about very much with Citi is going to be EVA Air. EVA Air is a great way to find business class flights over to Asia. For anyone looking for premium award seats over the Pacific Ocean, you may have noticed that it is really challenging to find award availability. But EVA Air tends to have a decent amount of award availability when you are booking with their miles on their aircraft. But although there is a decent amount of award availability with EVA, I will add in that their website is frustrating. It's not frustrating in the same way that Turkish Airlines' website is frustrating, to where you can tell that Turkish Airlines' website just has a bunch of bugs. With EVA Air, it seems like they intentionally made the website become challenging to navigate through, which is probably why there's so much award availability. The Citi Strata Premier card is a very underrated card. And if you are someone who doesn't like cycling through many different cards in your wallet, then I don't know a single card that can beat out the Citi Strata Premier card. And the final card is going to be another underrated card that can fill a lot of holes and doesn't have any annual fee. This is going to be the autograph card with Wells Fargo. Just like the Saver card, the autograph card has multiple 3x back categories. The difference with this card is that you don't need an additional card to be able to transfer out to partners. The autograph card is one of the few cards out there that has no annual fee that also allows you to transfer out to the transfer partners connected to Wells Fargo. I would argue that this is actually the best no annual fee card that has the ability to transfer out to transfer partners on its own. Now the transfer partners with Wells Fargo the best in the game? No, but I think that they're good enough, and it really doesn't hurt getting a no annual fee card that has multiple 3x back categories. I mean, you get 3x back on restaurants, travel, transit, gas, streaming services, and phone plans. That's really, really good for a no annual fee card, and also you can transfer those points out to partners. There's really nothing you can say bad about this card other than the fact that you may not be a fan of Wells Fargo. But that's my list of my 5 favorite cards to consider for 2025. Depending on where you are in your credit card journey, maybe one of these cards will make sense to add into your wallet. But hopefully you enjoy this video. Let me know in the comment section down below which card on this list is your favorite card. And if you happen to have any questions, you can drop it down in the comments and I'll do the best I can to answer it. If you happen to be interested in any cards, check my links in the description box. If you do decide to use any of my links, it does really help out the channel, and I'm incredibly thankful for your support. If you want to become a points and miles booking expert, go to Point Travel 101 to purchase my course. After completing my course, you will feel confident with booking business and first class flights all over the world. If you happen to really like this video, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this video, and have a beautiful rest of your day.